Hey, it's Jamie, and today we're rehashing 1 Chronicles 13 to 16. Today's passage suggests that David consulted all the leaders of Israel about bringing the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem and built a consensus to do so. We've heard this story before, but it's consistent with the accounts presented in other chapters. We also know that David's two defensive battles against the Philistines were between when David first started to bring the Ark to Jerusalem and when he completed that transfer. I think the writer means to suggest that David consulted God and perhaps the Book of the Law before completing the transfer of the Ark to Jerusalem, which is consistent with everything else we have about David as a leader. But here's the incoming lesson. Today's passage reminds us that David appointed Obed-Edom the Gittite and his associates to minister to the ark after it was moved. Why do we care? Because Obed-Edom appears to have been a Philistine. Being a Gittite indicates that he was from Gath, and Gath was a Philistine city. Pretty big deal at the time, and something you wouldn't even notice if you didn't do your geography homework on biblical locations like this little nerd over here did. David put arguably one of his biggest enemies in charge of the most important thing. Philistine in charge of the ark? David, you crazy baby! But here's where the lesson lies. The Lord doesn't care where your border ends, what language you speak, or where you were raised. He cares only about your heart and what's in it. Why isn't this our only concern when we meet someone new? We judge people, don't we, on their looks, their clothes, their jobs, their upbringing, on their parents even. How many on Facebook argue between political parties even? And how many times does the Bible have to tell you that you are not a judge? If we rewound the clock and never introduced you to racism, never told you that face tattoos means you're poor, never told you a fresh suit means you're better, how would you determine someone's character? By their heart, which is exactly what we should be doing 100% of the time. Not all drug addicts have bad skin. Not all domestic abusers are alcoholics, and it's insane of us to assume anything about anyone without getting to know their heart. Yes, this means that you'll have to spend some time with a person before you make a call on their character and decide if they're going to stay in your orbit or not. But how dare we make those judgments without spending this time? If God doesn't care that you're a liberal, then maybe neither should I. If your heart is pure and aimed at the sky, then you're all right with JC and the boys, and that means you're all right with me. Tomorrow we're diving into 1 Chronicles 17 to 19 if you want to read ahead. I hope you have a blessed day. Please comment and spread the word, and don't forget to say your prayers.
This is the Bible in a Year theme song.